Hi, I'm James Chase, Editor-in-Chief of Medical Marketing and Media, and I'm with RJ Lewis, who is President and CEO of eHealthcare Solutions. Welcome, RJ. Thanks for coming along. Just tell me a little bit, first of all, about your company.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, James. I'm a big fan of medical marketing and media, as you know. So a little bit about eHealthcare Solutions. We basically connect marketers with audiences, and we do that through our relationships with publishers. We're an exclusive online advertising network. We represent about 400 different websites or properties, mobile apps, websites, email lists, etc., across about 75 different premium publisher brands. And we connect the audience that a marketer wants to reach with their campaign.
RJ, for some time you've been involved in facilitating digital solutions for pharma companies. From what you're seeing, is it fair to say now that clients have really embraced the digital realm, or is there a lot of the curve still left to climb?
I think for the most part clients have embraced digital. The curve in pharma is a lot steeper, so they tend to lag behind other industries. But I think for the most part clients are very much warming up to all the possibilities of digital within the limitations that they face, regulatory and otherwise. For the most part, well, you heard today, for example, the gentleman from GSK say that their digital spend is going up 30% each year, and it has been for some time, and he basically said, I see no end to that for the foreseeable future. So money continues to shift away from traditional media into digital because it's more measurable, and because, quite frankly, pharma are being asked to do more with less. Sure. So I think the trends are all still very positive for digital. I think the more they can be measured and evaluated, pharma lives for that, obviously, in terms of measuring the return on their marketing investment, and digital provides that. So I think that trend will continue.
So more specifically, what are some of the key trends you're seeing in the digital space, and how is this affecting the work you're doing and what you're offering?
One of the biggest trends that we're seeing on the healthcare professional side is a trend for authentication. Clients increasingly want to know exactly who they're reaching. It's not enough to go after a specialty anymore. It's not enough to be contextual on a page anymore. They specifically want to do a list match and go after a specific set of prescribers. So one of the things that we've launched is our authentication platform. We're working with our publishers to actually register, authenticate, validate, and verify every prescriber in the United States, be it physician, nurse practitioner, or physician's assistant, and then be able to do list matches for clients and target those individuals precisely for them. That's one of the big trends we've seen on the physician side. On the consumer side, one of the big trends is more of a pay-for-performance model. So just like pharma is being held accountable through accountable care, those savings, or those desired savings, are getting passed right through to the media side as well. So a lot of times clients are looking for cost per lead or cost per action or some kind of guaranteed result in terms of what they're doing on the consumer side.
So what are some of those hurdles and roadblocks to further advancement of digital in pharma?
I think probably the biggest hurdle is pharma's ability to get out of their own way when it comes to regulatory and being willing to take a chance. Pat from UBC today on the panel gave a great comment. She said, when I'm sitting down with MLR and I have to deal with somebody whose job it is to analyze the risk of a given program and moving forward with it, she says, I like to turn that question around and ask, what is the risk of our not doing this? And there's a lot of examples in social media, for example, if you don't respond to a small spark, suddenly you have a fire on your hands. So I think that's a really good way to look at it. And you don't have to look very far as other industries. The music industry, the newspaper industry. I mean, industries have been decimated by not embracing technological change fast enough. Those are rear view mirror types of things, but if you look at it from pharma's perspective, there's certainly risk involved in not acting as well, and I think it's a very interesting point of view to bring to those discussions.
We're here at the Digital Pharma East Conference, as we mentioned before, so what's the value of a few hundred digitally focused people getting together in the flesh, and networking? There is obviously still a value to that.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing replaces that face-to-face connection, right? When you can connect with somebody you haven't seen in a long time. And that's kind of what these shows are all about. You walk around, you see a lot of people that you've seen for a long time, and then you meet the new people who are just getting into a role or just took over a new responsibility, and they're here to educate themselves, and they're saying, yeah, it's the first time I've been to one of these conferences. So those are kind of the two groups of folks you see on the floor, but that face-to-face interaction is a great time to reconnect, a great time to really get to know somebody on a deeper level.
Sure. And now the serious multi-billion-dollar question. It won't have escaped you that the pharma industry continues to be pounded by a number of forces and events and circumstances, such as patent expiration and the regulatory environment, the economic woes, the empowered patient, all of those things we all know about and all deal with every day. So how's all this going to pan out? What's it going to look like in the next few years?
It's going to be interesting. You know, pharma's done a lot of right-sizing already. When you look at their profitability, it's actually pretty strong, and they're managing their businesses very well. It started many years ago with cutting up sales forces and carving them down to, you know, fractions, shadows of what they used to be. They've continued that trend, and they're doing it with marketing now. I mean, pharma, the people that are there are being asked to do a lot more with a lot less to drive bottom-line results. I think we haven't seen the long-term impact of that, because I think at the end of the day, we have one of the greatest pharmaceutical industries because of our willingness to invest in R&D and because of the patent protections and because of innovative compounds that have come out over time. So this kind of dry spell, if you will, in the product pipeline and the patent expirations we're facing, I think it's the kind of industry that you're going to really feel the effects of that from a healthcare perspective several years down the road. But I think pharma will survive. I mean, pharma's doing very well. Everybody needs healthcare. All the demographic trends are pointing in the right direction. I think after we can get over this kind of addressing the cost issues, of which pharma's a relatively small part of that issue, right? I mean, it's hospitals and compensation and everything else that ties into that. But once you can address those cost concerns, I think the industry has a very bright future.
Well, thanks, RJ. So the authentication platform you mentioned certainly sounds pretty interesting.
Thank you for having me. EXL puts on a great show, so we're happy to be here. We're very excited about that authentication platform. Clients have been asking for it for a long time, and we're bringing it to our publishers, and that's not always the easiest thing to do. We're dragging some of them along kicking and screaming, but we're very excited to be offering it to the industry. Well, good luck with that, and thanks again for dropping by. RJ Lewis, President and CEO of eHealthcare Solutions. Thanks again. Thank you.